Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Andrew Knoll and I'm teaching our class in human nature this term. I'm really excited. I've got so much cool stuff that I want to talk with you about, and I've just been spending the last couple weeks trying to narrow down what we are going to focus on. So I'll post a video in the next day or two just giving you more insight into what we're going to be talking about this term. But to start off, here's just a little video giving you an overview of our Blackboard site and showing you how to navigate around the course. So you're starting off here, well, you're already viewing this in the Start Here window, presumably. Now, most of the work in the course is just going to be under the coursework setting here, and I've got it set up so that for each week of the class, there's a little folder that will have everything that we want to do that week. And I'll assign due dates. Probably I'll have some things due on Monday and some things due on Thursday of that week. But those dates are pretty forgiving. I'm not going to be a real stickler. If you need to take an extra day or two or three to get stuff done, that's okay. But it helps for you to stay on those deadlines, to make sure you stay up to speed in the course, but don't stress out if you need to wait a day or two. And similarly, feel free to stick around and do things early. So you'll see for each week, I'll post in that folder, here's our first week, some readings to do, and I'll probably also post some videos, some short videos giving you some context about how to think about these readings. And so when you click on one of these readings, like here's the first one that I have for us this week, these 3 myths of human nature, it's going to take you to another site called Perusal. So first of all, open up this page here, and then what you have to do is take your mouse and go all the way down to the bottom and click Launch. And when you click Launch, that will take you to this Perusal site. Now, the first time you go here, you'll probably have to sign up, create an account with Perusal, but once you do that, it will just go directly there each time. And once you're in Perusal here, it does this cool thing where it gives us the reading over in this left window here, and then it allows you to highlight parts of the reading that you want to talk about by clicking like this and just highlighting bits there, and then writing a comment over here. So here's my first comment. And then you can also do fun stuff like add in links to other stuff on the web. You can add in pictures or videos. I'll probably do that kind of thing. And then you can chat with me and with your classmates by tagging them. By just putting the @ there and typing in their names. Now, I think I'm the only one registered for the Perusal class right now, so it's not even letting me tag myself. But once there are more folks registered, once you start typing in @ it'll give you a little list of folks that you can tag. So if you want to reply to something that one of your classmates have said, then you can just tag them like that. If you have a question that you want to make sure that I answer, just tag me, and I'll pay particular attention to comments that I get tagged in. So this is going to be most of the work that we do each week. I'll give you some readings, and then your assignment will be to make at least about 2 substantive posts, either on the reading or in reply to what some of your classmates have said. And just trying to think through whether what the folks we're reading is saying is correct. And I gave you some tips back over in the Blackboard side about what kind of comments to post on Perusal. But it's just supposed to be replicating a casual conversation. So don't think you have to compose an essay before you post it. I just want to see that you're thinking through things carefully and really engaging in conversation with your classmates and with me. So the general way that you'll go about working through stuff in class is to just go to this coursework area, and then each week click on the correct week and work your way down through the different assignments. So this week you want to start here, go through, take this little anonymous survey that I've got just to see how you're all doing, where you're all at the start of the school year. go ahead and let me know when you might be available each week for a Zoom chat with me and the rest of the students. I realize we might not be able to get everyone in on a Zoom chat each week, but I want to make that available just as an optional thing. It's not going to be required, but it helps to be able to touch base and talk person to person sometimes as well. So go through that stuff, go back to the coursework menu, and then get to this week, our week 1 of classes. So for this week, read this little bit by Steven Pinker on the 3 myths of human nature. Make some comments on that. Say whether you think Pinker is right about these 3 myths about human nature that he makes claims about. I've got a little essentialism activity here where I've written up something that will take you to perusal as well, and I'm asking you to use that comment area in perusal to try and come up with some sort of a definition of what it is to be human, and try out discussing with your classmates whether you think that any of those definitions hold up or not. And then finally, I've got this piece by the philosopher Edouard Machery on this essentialist versus nomological views of human nature. So I've asked you to try and read Pinker's article by Wednesday, and then these other 2 by Friday. That's great if you can do that, but if you need to hold off till Saturday or something, that's okay too. If you want to get started off and just go at them all on Tuesday, that's awesome as well. The earlier you get started, the better a sort of conversation you're able to have. Over here on the left-hand area of the Blackboard site, there's just some other stuff that might be useful. There's this calendar area. This will show you when you have due dates coming up in the class. You can show this class, here's our human nature class, but you should also be able to show your other classes as well. So I can show all the due dates that I have coming up in my introduction to philosophy class as well. So that will help you kind of plan out your weeks and get a sense of how all your classes are meshing together. There's also this little planner section that just has some resources where it should show up things that you have coming up that are due. I don't have anything coming up to do, I guess, because I'm not a student, so I don't have any due dates myself. I just have to keep track of when I need to grade things and post lectures and that sort of thing in my own head. And then there are, if I make any announcements in the class, those will show up here. Then down here, there's a link to the syllabus for the class. They'll just open up a Google Doc in another window here, and that will give you a better sense of what sort of things we're going to be talking about this term. I've summarized the assignments that we're going to be doing. So like I said, those perusal discussions, those are a big component, about 1/3 of your grade in the class. So a lot of this class is just making sure you come in every week, really read those readings that I post on perusal and discuss them with your classmates. And I've given you tips about how to do that here. We'll do about 4 little group projects this term as well. You'll be in groups of about 4 folks, and I'll just give you like some kind of like real world problems to solve, and you'll write up a little 1 or 2 page report about how to solve those, and you'll make use of some of the things we learn about human nature in order to do that. Those due dates are listed down here, and if you go to that calendar area in Blackboard, that will show up when those are due as well, and I'll give you more info about how to do each of those as it approaches. And then finally, there's a final paper in the class. I'll give you more info about that as we come up on it in the term, but you'll write that in 3 stages. So first you'll do a first draft of your paper, you'll hand that in to some of your classmates, and then you'll write up responses to the papers of a couple of your classmates, and a couple of them will write responses to your paper. And then in light of those responses, you'll revise your paper and turn in a final version during the final exam week. So your grade will be largely your discussions in perusal, these 4 group assignments, and then that final paper. And then there's just some other kind of boilerplate syllabus stuff there you can look over. So there's the syllabus there. You can check the current state of your grades there. This link to the professor is all about yours truly. It's got my email here. So if you want to chat with me via email, I'm happy to do that. If you've got questions, just click there. You can email me. If you want to meet with me one-on-one over Zoom, happy to do that too. Just send me an email with times that you're available over the next, couple days when you decide you want to meet, and I'll pick a time that works for us. Once I'm able to schedule some time for Zoom meetings, you can go to, surprisingly enough, the Zoom meeting link to do that. To come to those meetings. Send email link, pretty self-explanatory. If you want to email any of your classmates, you can email them there. And then there's just some resources if you're having trouble with Blackboard or want to access some university resources, especially in light of like all this pandemic stuff. If you're having trouble making ends meet or getting sick or coming to class, you can go there. But also just let me know if you're struggling keeping up with schoolwork for any reason. God knows there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and it's completely understandable if you're getting overwhelmed by any number of things. So just let me know, and we can come up with a plan to make sure that you don't get overly stressed out with class. All right, so there is a little overview. Like I said, I'll come back and we'll start really getting into the nitty-gritty of what we're going to study this term. Look forward to hearing more from you this week. Bye.